Welcome back to another episode of Gamers Vault Online. We've got Carl here to tell us about the latest expansion. So can you tell us about the expansion here?
There's two expansions I want to talk to you about today. First, there's the Mist Hunter, and there's Punisher 1. So they're both expansion for the Scum faction, and they're finishing off with those the bounty hunters that were on the Darth Vader's ship when we saw Empire Strike Back.
Cool. Yeah, because I think there's Boba Fett, there's like the lizard guy, there's a human with like a white durag.
Yeah, that's Dangar. He's in Punisher 1. That's his ship. Apart from that, there's IG-88, the robot, which has seen a lot of play in the game because of the ship. Is a very interesting and good ship. And there's the Duo, which is the first ship we're going to talk about, which is Forloom and Zuckuss.
Right.
So they work together, and we'll see how they work together in the game. The ship is basically a good fighter ship, 3 attack, 1 defense, 4 hull, for shields, focus, target lock, evade. And when you give it the Mist Hunter title, it can do a barrel roll, but it must be equipped with a tractor beam. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Tractor beams can be very good. So tractor beam is a card that a lot of players are going to be very interested in playing. I know some of them can't wait for their TIE Defenders to have them.
Okay.
So what Tractor Beam does is it's 3 attack, range 1 to 3. Does no damage if you hit, but you put a Tractor Beam token on your opponent. When a ship has a Tractor Beam token, for each Tractor Beam token you reduce the defense by 1 for that combat phase. And the first time a small ship gets a Tractor Beam token, you as the opponent get to move the defender using a barrel or a straight 1 boost.
Okay.
So I see what this allows you to do is it could, as barrel roll is often used to get out of the arc.
Right.
You could put yourself out of arc by moving your opponent's ships.
Right.
It can also let you put your opponent's ship on an asteroid.
Right, because you're using the tractor beam to control their ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you remember, like when you're an asteroid, you can shoot.
Right.
So if you can have a high-level pilot move a low-level pilot on an asteroid, you're kind of having perfect defense.
Right. Okay. So could you show us kind of like, so I'm here I've got this TIE Defender?
Yeah, TIE Defender.
And I've got the E-Wing.
So the TIE Defender can be equipped with a tractor beam.
Okay.
And coming out with the next set that's coming out, the Defender will have a nice little title which he can attack with the tractor beam or other weapons and then shoot normally after. So what he could do is use the tractor beam, put you on the asteroid, put you in range 1 of him,
okay,
and then shoot you for the Defender if he has a title in range 1. Normal ship will want to put you on the asteroid just so that you can shoot. Or if you can, put you on the asteroid also so you can shoot, and so that next turn you're going through the asteroids when it's your turn to go.
That's great.
So no action.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting seeing that into play, like those tractor beams everywhere.
Right.
So the other generic ship cards that are available, before I talk more about the ship abilities, Scum are getting an illicit upgrade that is a cloaking device that they stole from the Empire, which allows them to use the cloak action. So the action was previously only available to the TIE Phantom.
Okay.
And that gave it a lot of maneuverability and a lot of defense. So I'm sure It's going to be interesting to see like which combination people start putting the cloaking device on. It is stolen text, so it doesn't work 100%. So the only drawback is that at the end of each round, if you're cloak, you roll an attack dice. On a focus, you lose the cloaking device and you decloak, or you lose a token up to the player's choice.
Okay. So it's kind of like it works, but you roll and something.
Yeah, there's a 1 in 4 chance that it's not going to work the whole game,
Right.
every turn.
Still...
But like, it's still interesting. I'm wondering if like certain upgrades that work with cloaking device would work with this. I'm pretty sure there's some modification that like could actually work with that, which would make it pretty interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
So that could make some of the scum ship a little more hard dodgers than they used to.
So it is a game changer, though. I mean, you're now becoming more maneuverable, right? So
Yeah, so like ship that were not as maneuverable, like the G1A Starfighter is not very maneuverable on itself. When you give it the Miss Hunter title, gets barrel roll, which gives it a little more maneuverability, like where you're going to end up.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has also the cloaking device, it's even more like maneuverability of where it's going to end up.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm looking forward to trying it out on the table.
Cool.
So, the other cards that we have in the set, there's Adaptability, which is the first card that double-sided. And you get to choose which side you want to use as you deploy your fleet. So, game to game, you can change it. What it does is it either decrease or increase your pilot skill by 1.
Okay.
So normally you're going to want to have the highest pilot skill, but you might want to decrease it so that you have 2 ships that gets the same pilot skill, and then they can act on the same time frame, and basically then you can choose which one you want to activate first.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so just basically you get more tactical, more tactical control over your ships, your
Yeah.
fleet. Cool.
So like if one of your ship is like pilot skill 7, but you have a guy with pilot skill 6 that has a tractor beam, you could play it, and it's skill 0. So like it takes a elite pilot skill, but it doesn't cost anything for the build. So free cards.
Cool.
Where can you go wrong with that? So you could have like the tractor beam shooting first, and then your other ship getting more damage in. The other card, it's basically works very well with this ship. The combos. When you receive a stress or an ion token, you may suffer 1 damage to discard that token. It doesn't specify once per turn, so possibly you could do it more than once a turn. It's a sensor upgrade, which the G1A Starfighter can use. So we have 2 main pilots in this expansion, either like the starship being piloted by Forloom or Zukus. So when it's Forloom that's piloting it, at the start of the end phase, you may assign 1 of your stress token to another ship at range 1. This is a very good like stress manipulation. So you could put it on your own ship if you wanted him not to have the stress.
Right.
But you'd preferably want to have an enemy ship at range 1 and transfer the stress to that enemy ship first. And it works very well with Zukus as a passenger in that ship, because what Zukus does is when attacking, you may receive any number of stress token to choose an equal number of defense dice. The defender must re-roll those dice. So basically, you attack somebody, don't like their dice rolling, get them to re-roll. Like you say, you take 1 or 2 stress, get them to re-roll their stress, and then you get stress. You You get them to reroll their defense dice, you get stress, and then you gave them some stress. So, very good combo. When Zukus is the pilot, what he does is when attacking, you may roll 1 additional dice. If you do, the defender rolls 1 additional defense dice. So, on itself, the damage dice will have more hits than the defense dice will get hit, will evade. So already it gives you an advantage of doing more damage. Now, you'd want to stack the odds in your favor, having a target lock or focus, and your opponent not if your opponent doesn't have a focus, that would be even better because he doesn't get to modify dice. That's where this partner in crime Forloom comes in. So when attacking during the modified attack dice step, you may receive 1 iron token to choose one of the defender's focus or evade token. The token cannot be spent during this attack. So that's stacking the odds again, against your opponents because he can't modify his dice. I think we're going to see a lot of Forloom being played on the scope because there's a lot of I've seen a lot recently of Empire players playing a lot of defensive builds where they use their focus, where they use Empire to modify their defense dice, and except on a very bad dice roll, they basically dodge your attack all the time. So if you're telling him, no, you can't use that focus, you can't use that token, that's going to be interesting to see on the table. And basically that's it for the Mist Hunter.
Sounds good. Excellent. So next time I think we're going to have a battle report where we're actually using these guys, right?
Yeah. We're next battle report we do, I'll be using these two, and one of us will be testing them out.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. So I guess next we'll do the Punisher 1.
All right. And don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, tell your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.